Hello, welcome to the garden. I'm just adding a little more water here. Nice clean water, and I usually say water that is clean enough for you to drink. I don't know that I want to drink out of the watering can, but you get the idea. Nice clean water. And so I'm going to make something with this. Is one of my favorite vases, and I don't know why I haven't really played with it yet this season. I got it at a garage sale. It's from Sweden originally, and I love this shape. And I've got in the bottom, I've got a very heavy, it's an antique-y, probably vintage more than antique, flower frog, very sharp metal. Probably should make sure you're caught up on your vaccines there before you use that one, but anyway. And so I thought I would make something for Thanksgiving. It's Thanksgiving here in Canada this weekend, and I just thought it would be fun to make something very, very autumnal. I'm just doing this as an extra video, and thank you for joining me. So usually I cut things like this, something that's got a hard stem like this. Usually I cut everything on the side and cut it up, but because I've got the flower frog, I'm just going to cut it straight across and press it down and in. Now, this one is going to sit in the middle of a larger table, and I'd like it to be kind of presentable, as it were, from every angle, because I also want to kind of play with that. You know, this is a round container, so to see it in the round is also lovely as well. Both work, but this is what I'm going to do with this. Got some 9 bark. Love 9 bark. Grows very quickly. This is smoke bush, by the way. So there. Now that I'm going to be, so now I've got some height. I actually don't really need much more than that, do you? But I am going to add something else, which is this peony leaf. I love peony leaves. I love peonies. But you know, peonies we sort of finish up with in June, July maybe. But the leaves, as they start to turn color, and just the way that the stems are and everything, they really are fantastic at this time of year for your vase. So there we go. That just kind of covers up a little bit. And then I've got, oh yes, here's another little piece of 9 bark here. 2 more. I'm just going to tuck them in, and I'm going to want them to come out a little bit, just for interest's sake. So I'm putting them in at an angle. Actually, let's put her in more at an angle. There we go. See that? It's already starting to sort of shape up to something, isn't it? All right, so I've got some very autumnal reds, just a beautiful, deep red dahlia. You don't actually need much. You see? And I've also got a different kind of red. This red I was growing for an event, and it didn't bloom when I needed it to bloom, but that's okay. It's blooming now, so we're enjoying it. These are strawberry leaves, and they just turn a fantastic color. All the greens, all the reds, they're just quite something. So I'm going to use them to kind of cover up some of those leaves, and then just kind of a nod to the season in terms of seed heads of different shapes, just to add some interest down at the bottom here, tucking those in. There we are. And I've also got some of these berries that are growing at the front of the property. I didn't plant them there per se, but they've come along. You can often find these on walks. I remember when we were growing up, they were kind of a fun one to step on the path coming home down from the school to home. and they would kind of pop, you know, the way that it's that sort of satisfactory pop that you get with the wrapping, you know, that as a little kid, and even as a grown-up, it's still fun, satisfying to hear that little pop. Okay, this is not going, it's got a very thin stem, and it's not wanting to go actually in on the flower frog, so I'm just going to cut it a little shorter because there's quite a bit of weight there, so it's just going to be like that. This I'll try putting it kind of more in the middle, and we'll see if we can kind of skewer it. There we go. onto one of the points there. So that's that. And I've got some eucalyptus. Just because I love eucalyptus at any time of year, but this is a lovely, I think it's a lovely color with some of the reds, because as you can see, some of those reds are also mimicked in the stem. So you're getting your reds from different places. So now here we go. Here's a little dahlia. She's finishing soon, but she'll be around for the weekend, so that's pretty great. Oh, another strawberry one. Here's another one. You can see that they're finishing because they're coming to the other side, so that's kind of what happens. So they will not, I will not get anything more, you know, there'll be no more bloom from them from here on in. I think I have mentioned in another, I know I've mentioned in another video that dahlias don't actually continue to bloom when you've picked them. So how you pick them at that time, that's kind of how it is. Here's another beautiful, they call them dinner plate dahlias. That's the kind of term for this type, just because it's so big. But I mean, it's just hard not to love this, right? Just such a celebration. And I think at this time of year, you know, if you're watching this, you're probably in a place where you're lucky enough, as I am, to live in a place where there's abundance at this time of year. So this is kind of that celebration, but also really with gratitude that we have the abundance in the garden, and you know what we will have on the plate for Thanksgiving. We're very fortunate. So we always lead with that. All right, I've got a few more. I'm hesitant to put too much in here. I'm not sure if I should add this or not, but you can see the stem, because of the wind the other day and the weight of this, it's really on kind of a difficult angle for something like this, but let's just try it and see how we do, if she can be kind of held up there. There we go. There. This is not having to travel very far, so I don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. These leaves, these strawberry leaves, are lovely to tuck in after, because they're light, right? And they can kind of fill in a little hole if you have a little hole there. Okay, what else have I got? I've got some really short little dahlias that I'll tuck in at the bottom. It is nice to repeat an element like this if you can, but often at this time of the garden, the year in the garden, it's kind of whatever you've got, right? So get kind of excited about seeing what you have and what you can work with, and that's kind of it. So you might not have 3 or 5 or more of something. That's okay. That's totally okay. Just trying to get this into this is very, because of the wind the other day, she's not feeling super strong. I think I'm going to leave her out because she's just not going to be happy there. But let's see, this one has a shorter stem, but a stronger stem. So I think I'll try with that. just to really put this down here into, there we go, right into the flower frog there. There, I think that's just about it. Is there anything else that I can see here? I do have, you know, I love them, the cosmos. I think maybe I will, I'm always adding cosmos, aren't I? But I think I will do that just here. Gives it a little height, gives it a little movement. You can see by the way that I cut this, I've gone down quite far on the stem. That's just how it is at this time of year, because I've picked a lot of other things along the way. There we go. I think that's it. Now let's see if I've got anything else that I can just kind of maybe add here for a little something. Oh yes, and I do have, this is holly, as in the holly and the ivy. I will not be singing that, but anyway, and I have taken all of, they will be red when we play with wreaths coming up pretty soon actually. But at the moment, I've taken off all of the holly leaves and they haven't fully turned red yet, but they have turned these wonderful yellows and oranges. So they are quite fun to use in something like this. I'll just put them down there. It's just a little nod to the season. And so there's lots going on in there, but not, I think, too much. And not everybody's gonna wanna stay up. This dahlia, she's really, there we go. There we go. Sort of push her in a little bit more. Doesn't sound very good, does it? But there we go. All right, so I'll turn this around. I'll take some pictures so that you can have, that's just Lily drinking from, it's not a water fountain, it's a little container that I'd left out, and because of all the rain, it's filled with drinking water. So we had a raccoon down here in the tree yesterday, and so I was half not wanting to come and do this afternoon, because I thought if it's coming back, I don't want to be with the raccoon in the garden. But it does answer the question of who was digging some of these pretty big holes, like big like that, and getting into some of the pots that have bulbs for the fall, or for the spring that I've already planted in them. So I need to do something about that before the raccoon comes back and eats the rest or whatever, kind of destroys it actually. Anyway, I hope that if you celebrate Thanksgiving in your part of the world, that you know, have a good Thanksgiving, and as we are grateful for what we have, and think about helping others so that everybody can have good food and hopefully some beauty as they enjoy their dinner. So thank you so much for watching, and happy Thanksgiving from our little garden here on Vancouver Island. Oh, and I'm Lise-Lotte. I think I forgot to say that at the very beginning. Anyway, happy Thanksgiving.